Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve, this is Rogue, and this is my floss tube, and I had the amount, but I've, moved since then. I was right, it's 50. This is my floss tube number 50. Say hi again, Rogue. No? It is September 12th. It is very hot in here, so if you can feel the fan, hear the fan, I apologize, but it's very hot. And just a few things. Some of you may remember that in May we went to camp, and my father fell. And when he did, he scraped this part of his right hand, right here. And the nerves there were just very raw. And we ended up taking him to the emergency room because there wasn't an urgent care close to where we were. And they gave him something to try to deaden the pain, and it just made it worse. And then they had finally gave him a shot, but through all of that, his hand was just really traumatized by that pain. And it eventually healed. It took a while, and recently his hand has started hurting, and we even thought maybe he had done something to his hand that things happen. And it's just remembered pain. His mind is telling him that it still hurts. And so we're taking him to therapy for that, but meanwhile, doing things to try to mitigate some of that pain, because the pain is real. And one of the things that they wanted us to do was to put this scar gel on it, but in order to hold it in place, I had to wrap it. So it looked a lot like it did back when it was a raw wound. And he said it just kept coming to me, that the memory of all of that pain and he didn't even tell me, and he didn't sleep all night, and his hand was just shaking with pain, and so he had a really bad weekend. And so I have spent a lot of this weekend with him, just making sure he's okay, because whether it comes from an actual injury in his hand or what's going on with him with this nerve pain, the pain is real and needs to be dealt with. He couldn't eat or anything because he was in so much pain. So finally he's having a better day today, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some things done. And I thought I'll do my update. Yeah, my tablet was at my sister's house, and so because we record our three sisters creative video on that tablet, so I had to go get it, and I stopped off at Rachel's house, who very, very nicely get me some charms that I needed. And so I really, really appreciate the gift of these charms. And so here I am, very late in the day, and I'm happy my father's doing better. He and I watched a very long movie together, and he had agreed to eat, and we ordered from DoorDash, because I was afraid to go out to a restaurant if his hand started hurting again. We had less resources there to help him. So I said, let's just order it in. And we ordered in from Red Robin, and his soup didn't arrive, and he wouldn't let me go get it, So hopefully when I make dinner, he'll eat real food. But he had his shake, and he ate breakfast, but it's like, oh, Daddy. But I digress. This is not a channel about caregiving and all those other things, but this is the way my week has gone. Start doing one thing and can't do it because I need to do this other thing, and so anyway, this is my Flosstube number 50, and my cross stitching didn't go very well either. I'll get to that. So I am still on week 2 of Casapinka's Snark-o-meter. This is where I am. I'm just at the beginning part of what makes this the second time. And then there's another row of this maroon color up above, and then I have to read and see what happens next. But I like the way this is looking. I just have been trying to get my cross stitch done. And I'm going to pause here in a little bit because I forgot to get my Tinymodernist. But before I do that, I did finish this bag, Nightmare Before Christmas. So one of the bags, there's going to be more than one on the Etsy site, and one of them will have bats down here instead of this. There'll be pictures of it. But both of it's a set. Both of the Notions pouches will look like this with a black interior. And not solid black, but whatever the pattern is down here. And I was going to put these up and realized that I didn't have charms that I liked for here. And upon searching, I found my Halloween charms, but I didn't want to use those charms, which is why Rachel provided some charms for me, and I'm so grateful. Because I was going to order some, but then I'd have to wait for them to come in, and how it goes. So another thing that I can't do this until I do that, kind of. So then the other sewing that I was doing, I was putting together. I had made this braid, and I don't know what I was thinking I was going to do with it. Maybe I didn't have an idea for it, but I said, you know what, I think I'll do this. And this is going to end up being a bag about the same size as the other bag. Probably the inside will be with dots. It'll have handles. I'm thinking on this bag, I'll probably, how you do the corner so the bag stands up. I'll probably do that. I haven't decided yet, but I was in the middle of quilting that bag and ran out of bobbin thread. No, I ran out of top thread, so I was almost out of bobbin thread. So another thing where I'm doing something and I have to stop because of something else I have to do first, and that's when I started working on the Halloween bags. It's like, I'm just going to go ahead and get the Halloween bags done, and there I went. But again, this is Flosstube, not sewing, although I like to sew. So I'm going to go get that Tinymodernist because that was another problem I had. All right, so I've got my Tinymodernist now, my When Witches Go Riding. And before I say that, I was looking over at a drink I have here, which is this purple drink. My sisters laugh at me because if I don't know what I want, I'm someplace where, I don't know necessarily what I want to drink. I order my drinks by color, Oh, that purple thing on the menu, what is that? Or that blue one right there, what is that? And, we know by buying things what blue flavors taste like and what purple flavors taste like. But I kind of do. But one of my favorite things is tropical flavors. I love pineapple and kiwi and mango and all that. And I was at Baskin Robbins. I knew I wanted a drink that was mixed with something cold, like I was thinking sherbet, but maybe ice cream. Don't get on my stitching. Come over here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Over here. So I decided to try that mango nata. And I read the thing, but I guess I didn't really understand, but he said it's mango with stuff in it. And I thought, okay. No. I had to give it back. I said, this is terrible. I said, did you put pepper in my drink? And he's like, well, it's that spice. And I have that spice. I've put it on things. I actually don't mind it. But in this drink, and it wasn't really, I thought it was going to be a mango ice cream, and it really wasn't. So I have this purple concoction. I don't even know what it is. But so I was just looking over at it because it's so hot. I was like, what is that? Oh yeah, it's that purple drink. I don't even know what it is. But I digress. So when witches go ready. Well, I told you last week about the word black, that I thought it was too far up, and that I thought it was wrong some other way and too short. It is too short by 1 stitch. But I was wrong. It's not too far up. This whole line right here, not this, but this whole line right here is too far down by 1 stitch. So this cat, which I thought was placed perfectly, is too far down by 1 stitch, which is why instead of 2 stitches down here, we have 1. And I realized that, and as I was doing this green line, and as I realized that I made the A and the T too tall. The A, T, and S, I made them too tall. I was trying to match what I had done over here, and I thought I was, but I don't know what I did. It was wrong. And I made the eyeballs purple instead of green. Sorry for all my threads everywhere, but I'm in the process of, I only want to have to pull out what I need to pull out. Anyway, I've decided to probably live with this placed where it is, and just have that green line just a little bit too short. I don't think it looks bad. I may move this because this is in the wrong spot. It's even with this, but it's not even with this, and it should be even with this. So I think I may just move it up. I mean, it's where it belongs against that A, but that and ampersand, but it's not where it should be in relation to the whole piece. But I don't mind moving just this one thing. But I love my purple eyes with bloodshot red. I had to backstitch around them anyway, and I was, what color should I backstitch? And I thought, since I wanted to put bloodshot eyes anyway, I thought that would look really cool, and I'm really happy with the way it looks. But since I had to redo this ATS, I said, you're in timeout. Even though here it is mid-September, and I'm only not even halfway through August. But, it is what it is. I have a lot of things going on. And then, I was doing some more work on, you remember I had to take out the house, the teal house. Or did I talk about that last week? Did that happen midweek? I had stitched the teal house, this house right here, and let me hold it sideways. this house right here, I'd stitched it, and it was several stitches too high, so I had to take it all out. So I took it all out, and the reason where I realized it was when I put in this snowflake, the snow wasn't going to go where it was supposed to. And I think when I had counted, instead of counting off of this branch, I think I counted off of this branch and made it too high. So I have the snow put back in. And I'm thinking about using the darker teal, and I think I did mention that I had that mistake last week. And I keep laying it down against this fabric, wondering, should I use that darker one? I like the color when I look at it in my hands, the two threads side by side, but I'm still trying to decide, so I'm doing the rest of the houses first. And then I did have a couple of appointments I had to take people to this week. So I worked on Joyful Snowman, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. So I got a second color in here, a little bit right here. Not a whole lot. It's this part right in here that I'm doing. So anyway, I haven't, we worked on it just a tiny bit because I keep it in my bag where I have things, small things that I can work on that I don't need my tablet to do it. And I keep this in here, but I do use the tablet. I printed out the pattern. This is Twin Peak Primitives. Did I say who those things were by? Tinymodernist, When Witches Go Riding. I mentioned that one, I know, but this one was Stitching with the Housewives and To All a Good Night. I'll talk more about that later. And then the Snowman is a dimensions kit called Joyful Snowman. And the designer is Barb Tortillos or something like that. And this is Twin Peak Primitives, Black Halloween series, and I'm working on this one right here. So I got tired of doing the border, so I started on the little happy face moon. It made me very happy to work on a happy face moon because I've had such a challenge with counting that I thought, the reason I didn't start in the middle in this one is because there's nothing in the middle. The middle is like right there. So I started with the border, and I think I'm just going to do the border as I get to elements that are near the border so that it tracks with the border. Okay, so after the moon, I'm going to do the owl and then the tree, and that goes in with this border right here. And I'll get these two things as I work on the tree, and then I'll come around and down to the cat, and I'll probably do the witch last. And the way things are going right now, the witch is slated to be finished 2 Halloweens from now. I don't know. I have a lot. I have this Halloween project. I have the Tinymodernist Halloween project. I have Halloween Gnomes. I have that one's by I haven't taken it out since May, I think, maybe June. That one is by Ursula Michaels, I think. And then I have by DMC Black Cat, which has Halloween motifs in it. So I have a lot of Halloween things. I am going to work exclusively on those during October. I might do maybe a day a week on my showstopper, but I really want to get some work done on the on the on all of the Halloween projects during October, and the what was that? There's the embroidery.com Witchy Stitchy Challenge, which is cross stitch for 30 minutes a day, every day, with the exception of 4 days. I think you can miss 4 days. You'd have to go look at it. Embroidery.com has all the things on it, and you can get a little needle minder for it. I love my needle minder that I got last year, and I want to try to get another one. And I got a needle minder for February's challenge, and it's just encouraging you to pick up stitching for half an hour a day, and half an hour isn't very long. So I signed up for that one again, and because I do have when witches go riding and some other Halloween projects, and I'm just going to work on those in October. I do have the Christmas one that I'm working on that I would like to get done, but I'm taking care of my dad, and have my own health issues, and my sister, to help her and stuff. So, I have the time I have, and it's nice to be able to relax with that. And I am doing a lot more sewing these days. I just love the piecing of fabric, and I was doing just sewing for the Etsy site, and it reminded me how much I love sewing. And I learned how to sew when I was very young. Naomi was maybe 2, and I can remember sewing clothes for her at that age. And I taught her how to sew when she got married, and I bought her a sewing machine for a wedding present. And she sews much better than I do in many respects, and she has a lot more sewing machines than I do. But I have in mind some quilting projects for Christmas, and I do want to get those done by Christmas, so I need to really budget my time on these things. And I will say that I normally do not purchase Christmas presents. I normally buy them. I mean, make them. So it's not unusual that I would spend a lot of time making something, but to make quilts is quite an effort. So I'm hoping I can get them done. If I can't, my family is very understanding, but let's see. I have the materials for the tops for the ones I have in mind, mostly. So we'll see how that goes. The last thing that I worked on, I haven't worked on it since, I don't know, did I have this middle bug done? This is CrossStitchingForFun Art Deco Spring, and I can't remember when I finished the middle bug, but I started working on this flower this morning. Now the color doesn't look very much like that picture. This is what I got done, but I could not see the holes. I just couldn't. I don't know if it was the way the sun was coming in or what, and I tried my eye drops. I said, you know what, I'm just going to make more mistakes that I have to take out. So I stopped working on that. Hopefully I can get some more work done on that today. I want to try to work on it at least one day, where I'm not working on anything else. And so there's that. Now, that is the cross stitching that I've done, and we are moving to the haul. And my haul was very weird because there's not a lot of haul, but I don't even have the quilting haul over here. It's just haul, just a few things. When I saw this, I fell in love with it. Okay. When I saw that, I just fell in love with it. And then, you know, stitching with the Housewives, you know, Priscilla, she outdid herself and she did this. And I knew it was going to be in September, and I said, oh, I can just wait, you know. But there was 50 cents for the reserve for this, and as soon as it came in, they would bill you and send you the pattern. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I know I'm going to buy it anyway, and I'm not going to, I may not even work on it this year, but I didn't want to charge 50 cents. So I was looking around, and I have wanted a rotating cutting mat, and I told you I have some quilt plans, and one of them is going to require, you know, half quarters, triangles and stuff like that, and they're not real big. And I have a larger mat, and then I have a bigger mat. So the one that's about this size, I can spin that around on, you know, on its own, even though it doesn't have a turntable thing. I can move it around. But I thought it would be easier with the little piecing if I had a rotating mat, and I'd been putting it off, and I went ahead and got this one. It's really, it says it's 8-inch, but it's not. It's because the measurements only go to 7. So to me, that's a 7-inch. Now, the whole thing itself might be 8 inches, but you know, if the measurement is to 7, it's not an 8-inch mat. But, you know, they can call it whatever they want. So I said, okay, but I kept putting off, you know, I'm like, oh, I don't need this, I don't need that. And while I was looking for something less expensive than that, to go with my 50 cents, I found these kitties, these little fat kitties. Can you see them? Let me see, there might be too much glare on them. I don't want to take them out of the package because I don't want to lose them. I had enough trouble finding things. I lost my interfacing. I have a whole had a whole bolt of interfacing. It was still in the plastic it got shipped to me in, and I'm like, where is it? I had put it behind my container that has all my fabric in it, and I thought I had, but I couldn't find it. Finally, it came out from its hiding place, and I couldn't find my Halloween charms. That one I had to start really cleaning, and I found them in a bag that was with random stuff. And then I found these. Aren't they cute? I have no purpose or need for them. They're buttons. But who doesn't need llama and fat kitty buttons? Yeah. So I got those. And when I was getting the fabric for the second quilt that I have in mind, I got this ruler. It's a 2.5-inch ruler, you know, so it fits on a jelly roll. Now I'm not buying any jelly rolls, but it would fit on a jelly roll, but it makes it a little one, you know, that I can just use on the tiny things I have to cut. So it conveniently fits like this. So perfect, right? 2 different companies. There's nobody outside. Why are you growling? And if they're outside, they're not bothering us. And when I was looking for Halloween charms, I went into Joann's, and I couldn't find anything there. They were cleaned out of Halloween stuff. So I went next door to the Dollar Tree. This is not a Halloween charm. But isn't it cute? Oh, I love it. So it's not a Halloween charm, but it's gonna find its way on a wall somewhere in my house for Halloween. I just love it. I would love it all year round. It's so cute. And then also, when I was making the bags for Nightmare Before Christmas, for some reason I bought a lot of the nice Nightmare Before Christmas fabric, and I didn't buy the same amount of the fabric to go with it. And I cut out 3 bags for Nightmare Before Christmas, and I only had enough of the secondary fabric for 2. Anyway, I went back to Joann's to look for that same fabric. My dog is, I don't know, there's nothing outside. I don't know what she's barking at. She likes to bark. And I couldn't find it, and I found some bat fabric that I think is beautiful and goes with it fine. And I didn't bring that over here because, you know, it's cut up. But they had a section on glow-in-the-dark fabric, and I love aliens, and they had this alien glow-in-the-dark fabric. I mean, I collect aliens, or not so much anymore, but I still love them. I mean, I have alien t-shirts, and I used to have alien earrings and blow-up aliens, and I mean, I when I had worked in an office as a graphic designer, I had aliens everywhere in my office. So I saw this, and it glows in the dark, and I love it. And so I'm going to make myself something with it. I bought what was on the bolt on that, and it doesn't really go. These are flannel, and I don't know why anybody in Arizona wants flannel, but you know. But it's constellations, so it's, you know, one's black and one's blue, so it doesn't really go. And they're very busy together, so I might have to buy some you know, solid color fabrics to go with it. And I'm not saying I'm gonna make, you know, a project bag for myself or whatever. I was just like, I just love the alien fabric, and it glows in the dark. And this glows in the dark. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. But, you know, I may make a pillow, or, you know, some pillow shams, or I don't know what. We'll see. And I bought what was left on the bolt of that other one, too. I don't know why. I don't need them. I don't have time to sew things. And yet, I keep buying fabric. So, anyway, that is all I have for today. If you've stuck with me, thank you. For my new subscribers, thank you very much for subscribing, and thank everybody for listening. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed this content, which is always pretty scattered, and I'm always flitting from one subject to another, so I might hit on a subject that you like or enjoy. I also do painting and paper crafts, so you may see some stuff like that. Just a little bit of history if you're still here. I used to work teaching art to persons with disabilities for 6 years, and so I learned a lot of new kind of crafts while I was doing that, because anything they wanted to learn, I found a way to teach it. And you know, what do you want to learn next month? It was basically, you know, and well, there was always painting, always, you know, acrylic painting and different painting, but we did wood crafts. I mean, you know, taking apart pallets and making things with them, and wooden pallets, and you know, all kinds of stuff. So you never know what's going to pop up, but mostly it'll be cross stitch and cross stitch related. And so I hope you'll stick with me. I hope you guys enjoy my content, tell other people, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Goodbye.